Good Thursday evening, high school sports fans. Joe Gillaway with Lingelstown Gazette Sports live from the Orchard Street studio. And this is episode 25 of our weekly podcast, Gazette Sports Chat, where we'll get to know participants from various realms of the high school sports world, the student athletes who play the games, the coaches who coach them, and others connected in different ways to the entire experience. We'll introduce you to tonight's guest in just a moment, as soon as we're done thanking those responsible for bringing you tonight's show, our Lingelstown Gazette Sports Platinum sponsors. And they are Rickabah's Electric, Payor Apparel, Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial Wealth Management, The Tire Mart, Team PA, AAU Basketball, Tonino's Pizza, American Legion Post 272, Hoffman Ford, Capital Region Insurance Agency, Modern Imprint, Sam Hartley Decking, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, and Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. Thank you to those great local businesses for their continued support of Lingelstown Gazette Sports and our area student athletes. Okay, stick with me now. Upcoming shows. We usually only have like one or two. I got a bunch of blockbusters here. So after tonight, the next show will be on Sunday. We're going to move it back an hour to 7 o'clock. That's our high school hoops recap show. We have Constitution head coach out of Philadelphia, downtown Philly, Constitution head coach Rob Moore. He's going to be our guest, our opening interview Sunday at 7. So everybody who likes the Eagles can watch the Eagles. And then the next Sunday, we'll move it back to 6 o'clock. This Monday, the 20th of January, we have head coaches Bill Wolf and Randy Gambalungi. This is kind of like 3 shows in one, folks, okay? We get to learn more about Coach Bill Wolf from Cumberland Valley, Coach Randy Gambalungi, who has a connection to tonight's guest. We'll get into that momentarily. And also their relationship to one another. And they've played against each other 30 times now. So that's going to be a real 2 of the top girls basketball coaches in the state for sure. Then Thursday, a week from tonight, Altoona girls. And there's another kind of connection between tonight's guests and them as well. We're going to have Milana Iyer, Lainey Wilt, and Zaylin Nguyen Moore on. 3 really good players. Wednesday, the 29th, we have 4 basketball players. Boys basketball, Alfonso Burnett from Susquehanna Township, who's in all likelihood going to score his 1,000th point tonight. Cam Sweeney from Hershey, Aiden Sally from Big Spring, Parker Smith from Carlisle. Then unscheduled shows, but we already have the commitment from the athletes. We have 4 girls basketball players, Jess Hallbaker from State College, Ashley Berkheimer from Trinity, Macy Yanoski from Mechanicsburg, and Sam Sembrot from Central Dauphin. They're going to be on a show that we haven't scheduled yet. And then we have boys basketball, Khalif Turner from Milton Hershey, Alil Batts from Middletown, who's really both of those players are really lighting it up. Tristan Crawford Jr. from Steel High, still looking for a 4th. We're hoping to get J.J. Kelly. His coach, Sean Schreffler, is reaching out to him. So that's it. Sorry to take so much time there, but we're excited. That's a lot of really kind of big-time athletes there, and we're excited to have all of them on, along with Coach Randy Gambalungi and Bill Wolf. So anyway, tonight's Gazette Sports Chat guests are 3 members of a Central Dauphin girls basketball team who once again find themselves in a position to make a run for the coveted Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division title and even more coveted District 3 Class 6A championship, both of which they captured just last season. Their team had a roller coaster ride of basketball last week, knocking off one of the top teams in the state, followed just days later by a last-second loss to one of their biggest rivals. We'll get their take on those games, their recent trip to Delaware to take on the defending state champion teams from 2 different states, and a whole lot more. It's my pleasure to welcome into Gazette Sports Chat Central Dauphin Junior forward Olivia Green, sophomore center Mikayla Matincheck, and freshman forward Kayanah Taylor. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking with me. I think that was a little longer than I promised. Anyway, did I get the positions right? Kayanah, you have pretty good handles. You like to be a guard forward, or is forward okay for now?
Yeah, it's a forward.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to ask Mikayla, I'll start with you. I always ask this question because it's usually the same time that we do these interviews. How was practice tonight?
It was good. We went over a lot of our plays, and we were getting ready for 2 big games that we have coming up tomorrow and Saturday against Carlisle and Dallastown.
Okay, yeah, that's some big games there. I mean, Dallastown. Liv knows about Dallastown. Well, you guys just played them for a district championship last season, but they're good every year. They have a lot of really good players. And how is Kayanah? What's a typical Coach Randy Gambelungi practice like?
I feel like,
is it tough? Is it fun? Is it somewhere in between?
It's usually fun because he always makes the game fun.
Right.
But he also is hard on us. So if we're not focusing while we're supposed to be, then we'll get in trouble. But other than that, it's fun.
Fair enough. That's the way it should be. Okay. So anyway, let's start with Liv. Liv's okay, right?
I'm great.
Okay. So no, I usually call you Liv anyway. So we'll start with you. Yeah, I was just getting your permission to go by Liv instead of.
Oh no,
Olivia.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about the makeup of this team. You lost some really good players from last year. You lost Lauren Cavoli, Lex Ferguson, Kayla Fletcher, and Leah McGarvey. I mean, 4 really good players there. 4, I guess, all starters as far as I can tell here. The makeup of this team has changed a lot. You still have a lot of really good athletes left. You're 10-2 at this point in the season, 10-4 if you add the out-of-state games. So something's going right. But how is this team different than last year's team, Liv?
I mean, obviously, like, finding a new connection was going to be hard, but I think that, like, there's matching different personalities, and I think that you have to take those and you have to, like, sort of, like, there's different approaches. And so I think that, like, this year we had to sort of, like, rebuild.
Right. Yeah, it is kind of a rebuild year. I mean, you have Kayanah and Mikayla. They're doing fabulously. I mean, you guys are having great seasons, but they're coming in kind of without any varsity experience, kind of learning on the fly, getting better and better, though, as the season goes on. And you do have a couple players that had varsity experience, but would you say to this point in the season, you think you guys are kind of set up to have a nice second half, Liv?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that, like, honestly, I think that the games that we lost, we definitely could have won. I think that it's about, like, coming out strong and, like, having a good mindset. And I think when we get too much in our heads, then that's sort of, like, when it goes downhill. But I think that if we, like, get that right, then we'll definitely be looking good for the rest of the season.
Good. Well put. Okay. Mikayla, I'm going to move over to you. You are vastly improved over last year. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that. I watched you over the summer, and I remember calling Randy after on my way home and said, my gosh, Mikayla looks so much better. You just started, like, kind of finishing. That's when you're a center, you have to you get the ball down low a lot, and you have to kind of finish and make the shots. And you've really started doing that a whole lot better. Do you do a lot of work in the off season? You're also a soccer player. You're the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You're a high-end multi-sport athlete. Let's just put it that way. You're the starting goalkeeper for a very good Central Dauphin girls soccer team. But how much energy and commitment are you allowed to give to basketball in the off season? How do you work all that out with 2 sports?
I think that because I'm a goalie and I also play basketball, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. I do a lot of goalie practices, which plays into, like, it kind of plays into rebounding the ball and being able to be aggressive and not kind of be afraid because I'm kind of throwing myself everywhere on the floor.
Right.
But I've also worked with a lot of coaches over the summer, and especially my dad has helped me, just outside working and coming up with different moves that I can do and working on my outside shots.
You took the next question right out. I don't have to ask it. I was going to ask you, does one sport kind of help the other or complement the other? I mean, both sports require a lot of hand-eye. You have to have quick hands. And so thank you for that. You helped me through the next question. Okay, let's go to Kayanah. You are only the 5th freshman starter in the 10 years that I have been following for Coach Randy Gambelungi, that I've been following Central Dauphin basketball. I think I have them written down here. Sam Gress, Caroline Shirey. I'm going to mention these are future Hall of Famers. Kayla Fletcher, and a girl by the name of Olivia Green. Okay, so you're in pretty good company there. Has it kind of forced you to grow up quickly, or do you feel like you've been able to kind of, I don't want to say take your time, but have you been able to learn on the fly and feel like, okay, if I made a mistake here or there, it's okay. They have my back. Coach Randy Gambelungi has my back and my support. How do you feel about being kind of thrown right into the fire there, Kayanah?
I feel like it was a little stressful at first, but every time I made a mistake, my teammates would always be like, "It's okay. Like, you're still learning. You still got 3 more years of this." And I would be a little hard on myself, and they would remind me that I'm only a freshman and I have so much to improve. So I feel like my teammates really played a big part of me stepping into my varsity starting position.
Right. You look great out there. And you're getting better and better. You're kind of taking baby steps, which is the way it's supposed to be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And let me clue you in on something, Kayanah. The seniors make mistakes too. Okay. So, you know, like a lot of times I know that people are hard on themselves because they might be younger or less experienced, but everybody's going to make mistakes. And it's how it's kind of how you bounce off of that mistake and have confidence moving forward. Okay. Liv Green, you had a shot at Wilson last year in the District 3 semifinal game. I don't know if you know this or not, but that's kind of one of the more legendary sports plays in Central Dauphin sports history. And I know that you might not feel that way because it was it ended up to be kind of a real simple shot. I mean, you had people hanging all over you. It took a lot of strength. You got the ball up, kind of bounced off the backboard and the rim, but it went in. And the reason why that was so monumental is because it allows you guys to move on to the district championship game, which you won. You guys win a lot of district championships, the Central Dauphin girls basketball, 5 in the last 8 years. Talk a little bit about, I don't want to go back too much, but did you realize at the time, I mean, what was kind of the mood after that shot? And did you realize how big of a shot that was?
I mean, definitely taking the shot, like, honestly, I didn't even think that I was going to get the ball because I wasn't even, like, part of the, like, play.
Right.
So when I got the rebound, I honestly just threw it up. I didn't, like, know when it, like, if it was going to go in. But when it went in, I was, like, really happy. You can see me sort of jump. But
and, you know, Liv, you didn't have much time to think about anything. That was a really good team. And you guys had a lead early, and they just kind of really made it hard on you guys down the stretch. And it was just a legendary shot. I can tell you that. It'll be one that you're able to look back on when you're a little older and go, wow, had I not made that, we don't play at Giants Center. Okay, so Mikayla, you had last week was kind of a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I'm not trying to, these are fair questions, I think. You had a really big win against Lebanon.
Yes.
Lebanon is not arguably, Lebanon is one of the top teams in the state. They have 2 really tough players to play against. And then 2 losses in a row. I didn't walk away from Altoona thinking it was a really bad loss. I mean, they were up really big. They were up, I think it was 15-2, and you guys took them down to the wire. And they're a really good team, but kind of a rough game up at State College. I think anytime you play a sport and you're in a position to win and you aren't able to finish it off, it kind of dings a little. It kind of dings a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What kind of, I don't want to ask you about the bus ride home. I'm not going to ask you about the bus ride home. But how's that feel? You know, you go to bed at night, and I'm sure you think about the game. And how did that feel last Friday night?
I think that we all kind of thought about like different things that we could have done better. And, you know, we had such a big lead in the beginning of the night. And, you know, we all were happy during halftime and like we were confident in ourselves. But I think that State College came out really strong and we kind of like got in our heads a little bit and thought a lot about it and too much. And we kind of like played differently than we started. And I think that we all kind of like were thinking of different things that we could have done better and all the mistakes that we made during the games.
Okay, so that maybe the most important question, what was the attitude at practice the next day? Did you have practice on Saturday? Or the next time you practiced? I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. The next time you get together, because I've played sports, and you kind of look at each other, you have to kind of take inventory, take stock in yourself. Were you guys able to bounce back, keep your chins up and say, look, we got other games we're going to have to try to win here?
Yeah, I think at practice it was better. After the game, we were definitely really upset and stuff. And, you know, we kind of took our anger out usually on the court or after the game. But, you know, the next practice, we kind of like regrouped and talked about the mistakes that we made. And that practice, we spent a lot of the time working on transition defense, which was what was kind of our main problem during that game.
Right.
And we were just like fixing mistakes that we made that could help us in future games and obviously playing them again.
Good. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be sad. You kind of have to go through all the emotions when you're playing sports at a high level like you guys do. Okay, so Kayanah, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you remember when I interviewed you at the Battle of the Barn?
Yeah.
That was, I don't know when it was. It was over the summer sometime, maybe.
Yeah.
And we did like a 5-minute interview. And I didn't ask you about Coach Randy Gambelungi. You brought it up. I asked you, do you have any excitement about playing this year? And tell me a little bit about it. But now, since you play for Coach Randy Gambelungi, kind of day in and day out, tell the folks watching a little bit about Coach G.
I just feel like he's a really good coach. He's really goofy. He makes jokes. He makes sure you know what you're doing. But even though he's a funny coach and he's goofy, at the end of the day, he will do what needs to be done. He'll always make the right plays. He always is prepared for games too. We watch film so much. We ask anybody. We watch film so much, and it's to prepare us and our team for the teams we are playing. So he's a very prepared coach. He's a really good coach. He's goofy. You could joke around with him. You could tell him anything. But yeah, he's a really good coach.
They call that, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term, they call that a player's coach. And a player's coach is a coach that the players like to play for. And let me tell you something. I know a lot of coaches, and I really know way more than most people do. Nobody out prepares Coach Randy Gambelungi. So next time you guys don't want to take practice seriously, or you're a little tired from the night before or whatever, remember, he's busting his butt too. He's not just asking you guys to do it. That's for sure. So let's move on back to Live Green. Coach G's teams do two things. They accomplish two things at a high level. A lot of his players end up playing ball in college. I've seen teams that from the best down to one of the, let's just say, least best players on the team, almost all of them go to college. If they want to go, they end up in college, and they have really good college careers. And that's a credit to Coach G. But they also excel in the classroom. I think you guys have a real, probably year in and year out, real high GPA as a team. And I'm going to ask you, I mean, you can't really dictate what the team does in the classroom, but yourself. I mean, how are your studies? How important are your studies to you? And you're a true student athlete. It's not just a student that plays sports or an athlete that also goes to school. You do them both at a high level. Talk about your studies.
Yeah, they're definitely top priority. My parents always obviously studies come first, and if I'm not doing well in school, then I can't go and play basketball. So they've always sort of said from that when I was younger. But yeah, I always try to study hard and get all my work done so that I have time to do other things.
If you're not playing well, you can't play, or if you're not doing well in the classroom, you can't play bad. That's enough to keep you serious about your studies, right?
Yeah, that's what my mom, when I was playing when I was little, she was like, if you're not doing good with your grades, then you can't go to practice. You got to stay home and do your work.
Yeah. Well, hats off to you. I know you're a great. The little that I know about you, I've heard from a lot of people, or from people that I trust their judgment, that you're a great student too. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mikayla, I mentioned it earlier. You're a 2-sport starter as a sophomore. Okay, and the one thing I will say about Central Dauphin, you guys are known for, your school is known for being one of the top girls sports schools, I would say, in the state. I mean, really, I cover enough sports. Do you have a primary sport? I mean,
it switches between, I think right now it's basketball, but I've put in so much work with soccer throughout the years. I've been playing soccer longer than I've been playing basketball. I've been playing it since I was in kindergarten. So soccer is still very important to me, but right now I'm enjoying basketball a lot more.
And do you stay in contact with Coach Chris Jones, your soccer coach, in the off season?
Not right now. I know he's also busy. He's a health teacher at Lingelstown, and I wasn't able to make the banquet because I had that game in State College, so I haven't been able to see him much.
Right. He was. I don't know about this year, but he was my grandson's phys ed teacher at Lingelstown. So yeah, he's a heck of a coach. State championship, of course. Coach Chris Jones, one of my favorite coaches. And then how about the difference in the physicality though? I mean, unless somebody kind of runs into you when you're goalkeeping, when you're in the goal, you're not really doing much physical there as far as with other people, other bodies. And then, talk about I can't remember her name, shame on me, but that forward from Lebanon, 6'3", and just wide and physical, and not wide in a bad way. I mean, big, strong girl and a really good player. What's it like going up against some of these players that you have to go up against, kind of banging around the paint?
Yeah, I always talk to my Coach Butler, about being nervous because I am tall, but I'm definitely thinner. So I gotta really work on, staying low and stuff, and going against girls that are stronger than me. It can be very intimidating, but I just make sure that I'm able to, play my game, and having girls like Liv and Kay help me. Kay and Liv are very strong and dominant players, and during defense and before the game, we talked about how Liv would come over and help, and being able to know that people are helping me is always a confidence booster, and I'm able to play more comfortably on the court.
Well, you guys are reading my mind, because that was going to be my next question. How do your teammates kind of help you out or compliment you down there? And you have some really strong paint players that play under the basket well. I know Sam. I think Sam Sembrot does both well. I think she's able to play out away from the basket pretty well. She can bring the ball up the court well, but she's also very strong. And then, of course, Kayanah's got the size and athleticism to get in there and bang as well. So, Kayanah, the expectations are high at Central Dauphin for the girls' basketball. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You guys are kind of in it to win it. The 10 years I've been around, I'm the public address announcer. I didn't plan on saying that, but people might wonder why I kind of know so much about. I haven't seen really an off team. Some are better than others, but you guys have athletes every year. Talk about, when you're going up against some of these top teams. Let's shift gears and talk about, we talked about Lebanon, how good they were. But do you guys feel like, you went down to Delaware and played a couple games against some defending state champs from Wisconsin, Ohio? Do you guys feel like when you go out in the court, you're ready to bang with anybody, that you can compete with whoever's out there against you?
I feel as though I could compete with anybody, because I've been preparing for varsity. I play AAU, I play 16U AAU, so I already play up, and I already know. I just have the confidence to think that girls can't guard me. So
I think you're right. I mean, we all have like smiles and we're all chuckling and stuff, but we know it's true though. So go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, but like having that confidence is the key, because when I have that confidence, I know I could score, make plays, do everything I need to do, and I'm able to perform well.
Yeah, you played really well down in Delaware. It didn't look like it bothered you, put it that way. I mean, you guys played against some really top quality opponents and individual players, and it didn't look like it bothered you at all. Does this feel like an 11-2 or 10-2 team to you, Kayanah? Let's take away. You could call it 10-4 if you want. I mean, the non-PIAA losses, the two that you had down in Delaware, really don't count on your record. But does this feel like a team that's already won 10 games and has a chance to go deep into playoffs?
Yes, most definitely. I feel like we should have definitely won the Altoona and State College game, and we all made mistakes that could have made us win, but we can't go back to that. But we got them next time.
Wow, that is one mature answer right there. It's true. Everybody's got to own part of it. Even though Liv went down and made two of the best free throws you'll ever see a player make. But I'm sure somewhere throughout that game, Liv probably wishes she did something a little bit differently, and Mikayla and everybody else. Yeah, so That's a great answer, Kayanah. Now I'm going to ask you all three the same question here. I'll go back to Liv. Outside of school and basketball, which take up a lot of your time, do you have any other school activities? I know that you're a retired cellist. You put the cello down a couple of years ago, so there's not that. But do you have any other school activities or anything unrelated to school and basketball that you like to do?
I'm part of a few clubs. I'm part of Four Diamonds, and
Okay, good.
FCLA and Key Club and like those kinds of things. But other than that, no.
So the answer is yes, a lot of other stuff, right? You'd be surprised the amount of people that when I ask them the same question, kids, student athletes, that they say sleep.
Yeah, I was going to say that next.
Okay, that's a fair answer. Okay, you guys work hard. How about you, Mikayla? What do you like to do outside of, let's say, basketball, soccer, and school?
Yeah, I'm in a couple clubs. I'm in yearbook and I'm in a animal social awareness club. And
No, what is that one? Back up.
it's a animal social awareness club. One of my friends started it. It's kind of for like shelters and stuff like that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that a school club?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
I'm also a big time reader, so I read a lot of different books during my free time, and obviously I sleep whenever I can.
There we go. Sleep. That's like I said. That's a fair answer. And Kayanah, how about you? Same question.
Since I'm new to high school, I don't really do I don't do clubs or anything. I'm planning on doing them next year, but I mostly sleep. I like to draw a lot. I like to watch like TV shows and draw, and I also train, of course.
What TV shows do you like?
Drama.
Do you have any in particular?
Insatiable, Riverdale, All American, On My Block. Yeah.
This is fast approaching one of the smartest interviews I've ever done. You guys are brilliant, man. Nobody gets tripped up on any questions. All the answers are thorough and smart. And okay, so the last question I'm going to ask you guys is, oh no, you know what? Let me go back to Mikayla. Talk about that Delaware trip. That was your first trip to Delaware.
Yeah.
And I think that the CD girls go like every other year, roughly. That's the way it worked. You went down there. You spent the weekend as a team. You stayed overnight, and you played again against two really good teams from out of state, from Wisconsin, Ohio. Just talk about the overall trip and what do you think what did it mean to you, and what do you think it meant to the team and their ability to kind of bond together?
I think that despite the loss, we all really had fun and bonded. You know, on the way down, we were like talking. We were in two separate vans because there's so many of us. But
who had the good van? Who was driving the fun van?
Kayanah.
Who was driving your van, Kayanah?
Coach Bob and Coach Butler.
Okay, so you guys had the silly van, right?
Yeah.
Everybody cutting up. And then how about you, Mikayla? Go back to you. Who was driving your van?
Coach G was driving my van, and I would say he's not the best driver, so I would not recommend getting in a car with him.
Safety first. Yeah, everybody had their seatbelts on, right?
Yeah, a couple of us almost fell off the seat a couple times.
Oh my!
Oh
boy. We're getting to the bottom of Coach G here tonight. That's for sure. We might have to ask him about that on Monday. But talk about just hanging out at night. I know you guys were doing some karaoke and stuff like that. Do you feel like when you're done with a weekend like that, after you tell me about karaoke, do you feel like you kind of bonded and moving forward, you had a little more of a closeness with one another?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, karaoke definitely helped. That dinner was very fun. We played a couple pranks on our coaches. And after that, we did karaoke. And, you know, even the people that weren't like singing with us, they were behind us singing and, you know, like cheering us on. And after we went to Crumble Cookies and we got more food and we went back and we all like we're hanging out in our hotel rooms, and we would come over and, you know, spend time together, and we try the different Crumble flavors and just like play different games in our hotel room.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Okay, so who's ready to get honest with everybody here? Liv, I'm going to go to you. Who is the best singer? Who was a good singer for karaoke?
Me.
Okay, all right, okay, good. All right.
It's actually Kay. It's actually Kay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's right.
What kind of music do you like, Kay? Kayanah?
I like every song.
Okay, good.
Any
good.
song. It depends. Country. It depends what country song.
There's
because
some
country music is really good.
Absolutely. Very catchy, great melody. Yeah. So we got Kayanah's the best singer, or at least one of the best. Kayanah, who's not a good singer?
Let me think. Sam.
Oh boy. See, he's not going to want to hear that, I don't think. But okay, the last thing I'll ask: did she try? Was she up there giving it her best, Sam?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, that's really all that matters. Okay, Liv, this will be maybe a little more for you than your teammates here. What are your goals for after high school? Do you like basketball enough? Do you think it's something that you want to pursue in college?
Yeah, I think definitely if I'm able to have the opportunity to play in college, that I'll continue to play and hopefully get both my academic and athletic scholarships, hopefully.
Well, I'm no Dawn Staley here, but you're definitely good enough to play basketball in college. I think you're definitely one of the best players in the area, and yeah, I would love to have you playing for me in college. That's for sure. Mikayla, and I'm not trying to put pressure on you guys, but do you have any plans on playing? Let's just say a sport in college. I mean, you have time to figure out what you like, what's going to serve you best, or what you're going to enjoy the most. But do you want to be a student athlete when you get into college?
Yeah, I think that if I get kind of like Liv said, if the opportunity arises, that I would definitely take it. And, playing in college would definitely be fun. And, I focus a lot on my academics too. So being able to have academic and athletic success in college is definitely a big goal for me.
Mm-hmm. And then Kayanah, you're in ninth grade. So, and you're on here with two really good high level academic teammates. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you like take your studies seriously too?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, I figured you did. It's year in and year out. Coach G's teams just have really good, let's say, student athletes with the emphasis on student.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have plans to play someday after high school?
Yes, of course. If I get the opportunity to play in college, I'll definitely play in college and even go above college.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I knew what the answer to that was going to be. And you too will get the opportunity. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so let me do this before we move on. We're going to wrap up here soon. But one of our sponsors is Pay Your Apparel. Liv, your father, Rob Green, knows the owner, Larry Bragg, and we are grateful to Larry because he provides T-shirts for all of our guests. And I want to get your T-shirt sizes. Liv, is in a male T-shirt. What's your size?
Guys, should I go large or medium?
I'm
in
going large.
Male.
In male, though.
Yeah, I'm going large.
I'm going small.
Small.
Kind of medium.
Yeah, Liv is a medium. Mikayla's a large.
I'll actually do medium too. Then.
Okay. I think, and you are not a big girl, Kayanah, but I think medium would probably be a little better fit for you.
Yeah.
Those small, they look like doll shirts. You know what I mean? Like so. Anyway,
Wait, so
right.
are you saying that it's like not men's sizing? Like it is, but it's not.
No, there are men's size. Yeah. I think you'll be good with a men's medium, Liv.
Okay.
I can change it now. You can send me
No, it's okay. I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Medium for Liv, large for Mikayla, medium for Kayanah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're gonna switch gears here, and nobody gets out without doing a little bit of keeping it light. Do you guys know what keeping it light is?
No.
Okay. These are questions that we're just going to learn a little bit more about you guys outside of school, outside of basketball. What you like, what you find fun, what you find enjoyable. Ask you a couple questions and let the folks at home learn a little bit more about you than they probably already do. So let me go back up to Liv first, and I'm going to ask Liv, all-time favorite athlete, any sport, any level.
Let's go like Asia Wilson.
Okay. All right. Top women's basketball player in the world right now. Right. Okay. I don't think many people would argue against that. Good answer there. Mikayla, what is your go-to meal? Let's say it's your birthday, and I don't know if your mom cooks or your dad, or what are you asking them to make you, or what are you going out to dinner and getting? Your favorite meal?
Okay, so for my birthday, we always go to the melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I get the cheese, and then I get the different like shrimp, steak, and chicken for the like entree, and then we get chocolate fondue at the end.
So yeah, for those at home, I was going to say it's a fondue restaurant, and so that's good. Okay, so Kayanah, let me see what I have here for you. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I have 2 dogs.
What kind of dogs and what are their names?
Sadie, she's a pit bull mixed. I don't know what she's mixed with. Deuce, he's also a pit bull mixed with black lab, and yeah.
Awesome. I have a pit, and I've had all pits for the last like 20 years. So I'm a pit bull guy. Let's see. We'll give you each one more question. Olivia Green. Let's go to. Do you have an all-time favorite movie? Something you could watch over and over. No's a suitable answer. I'll go on to another question if you really do.
What
Say
I'm
the
like
Titanic.
thinking, okay, no.
Titanic.
Okay, I really like the Marvel movies. Like, I don't know. I know that's like really nerdy, but like
No, it's your favorite movie. This question is about you. Okay.
I like the Marvel movies.
And I'll make it a 2-part question since we're wrapping up here. Do you have a favorite TV show?
Friends.
Okay. That's a mature answer. That's kind of like an old person show.
I come home and I watch it every single day.
It's fabulous. It's
every
really,
single day.
I'm kind of that way with a lot of shows, really. So, but it's not about me. Let me move on. Mikayla, let's go with favorite book. You said you like to read.
Oh gosh.
Or a book you like. A book you like. I don't want you to burn your brain there thinking of one.
Right now, I think I'm really enjoying my series I'm reading right now. It's a like Greek mythology romance story.
My goodness, that's pretty heavy. Greek mythology romance.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists in there, but it's really good. It's really interesting.
Kind of sounds like a merger of genres.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it sounds interesting. Okay, Kayanah, last question. Favorite dessert? Do you like sweets?
Yes.
Favorite dessert?
Ice cream. Mint chocolate chip with the big chocolate chunks.
That's mine too. Seriously, I love ice cream, and mint chocolate chips my go-to. And then let's just make this a 2-part as well. Favorite candy bar or anything like that?
I would say Jolly Ranchers, the chewy ones.
Okay, great candy. All right, so let's go around the horn here.
Guys, I came up with another movie.
Go ahead, Liv.
Have you guys ever seen Crazy Rich Asians?
Yes, I love that movie.
What is it about?
Crazy Rich Asians. Like,
Yeah. No, but like you can't take it like that. Like you have to watch it. It's so good.
No, it's really good.
Liv went from not having one to giving us a bonus movie.
Yeah,
well done, Liv.
that's like a comfort movie. Like,
yeah, that's
when
awesome.
I first saw that movie, me and my mom stayed up and watched it until midnight. So
Crazy Rich.
Apparently, there's like 2 books. I might have to read it.
Yeah, there are books.
So, folks at home, Liv Green is encouraging you to watch Crazy Rich Asians. All right.
Yes, I am.
That's all right, let's just do shout outs and then we'll let you guys go. We're at 38 minutes, man. We're doing a great job here. Liv, do you have any shout outs? Anybody at home watching you might want to say hi to?
Robbie, if you're watching this, I shout out to you.
No, wait a second. That's your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad. I didn't know if I was supposed to call him dad or not.
No, you can call him dad. Okay. Robbie. Okay. So dad?
Yeah. Just my whole family, I guess.
Okay.
And my friends.
Okay. Mikayla, any shout outs?
My parents, my dad is downstairs in the basement watching.
Wait a second. Do you have a sister?
I do. I have a sister and I have a brother.
And you don't want to shout her out?
Oh, I can. I don't know if she's watching or not though. She's all the way in Clemson, so
Maybe she'll
I'm
watch
sure
it
she's
some
aware.
other. She might watch it some other. I thought you kind of were reneging on the shout out there.
Oh no. I just don't know if she's watching it or not.
Okay.
She's a busy girl.
Let's shout her out. Maybe she'll watch it down the road sometime.
Yeah.
And who else?
My mom. She's in Arizona right now for a work trip, so I know she's watching it right now.
I think she asked me, maybe it was yesterday, how she could watch it. So
yes.
Good. Okay. How about you, Kayanah? Shout out.
My mom and my dad and my brother and my sister and my other sister.
Woo. That was strong. She was ready for her shout out. Okay, ladies, thank you so much. Once again, we have Olivia Green. She is a junior forward. Mikayla Matincheck is a sophomore center. They don't use the word center too much anymore in high school. You're kind of a true center though. And you're a good shooter though too, and a really good free throw shooter. So you're developing forward skills. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
And then Kayanah Taylor, a freshman forward, all members of the 10-2 or 10-4 Lady Rams basketball team, Central Dauphin, however you want to look at it. I think you guys have had a pretty strong start to your season. You have a lot of big games coming up. And let's thank our sponsors, and then we'll let you guys go. Rickaba's Electric, Payer Apparel, Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial Wealth Management, the Tire Mart, Team PA, AAU Basketball, Tonino's Pizza, Post 272, American Legion, Hoffman Ford, Capital Region Insurance Agency, Modern Imprint, Sam Hartley Decking, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. Thanks again to those great local businesses for their continued support of Lingelstown Gazette Sports and our area student athletes. And while I have Tonino's on my brain, I will make sure that you guys get lunch, a complimentary lunch at Tonino's. Everybody know where Tonino's is?
Yes.
Yeah. You've been there before, right, Liv?
Of course.
Yeah, he likes you guys. Tony is the owner there. So he asks me at least once or twice a year, when are the basketball players coming in? So I'll make sure that I hook up with Coach G and get you guys in there for some pizza. Ladies, thank you very much. That was a super impressive 41 minutes of questions and answers. You guys are fun. You guys are talented. And I'll see you tomorrow night for youth night, right?
Yep.
We're going to see about, I was told, 70 kids that want to be future Liv, Kayanah, and Mikaylas. They're going to be excited to be there, excited to watch you guys, as I always am too. So thanks again, and go get something to eat, do your homework, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
You bet.